as a fitness creator, if you're a teen watching me, go ahead and click the subscribe and the notification bell because you won't see my videos anymore. Let's talk about why. YouTube is changing their fitness algorithm and in an important way. Let's talk about it. So YouTube is to stop recommending videos to teenagers that idealize specific fitness levels, body weights, or physical features after experts have warned that repeatedly viewing this content could be harmful. I think there's a lot to unpack here. There's a couple of quotes I'm going to read out. But before I get into that, go ahead and pop in the comments. What do you think? Should we be protecting teens from fitness content? I'm certainly going to give my 2 cents. Now, they say that they're not going to prohibit them from watching the content. They're just going to change the algorithm to not send them down fitness-related rabbit holes. I do think it's very interesting. YouTube has a global head of health, which is fascinating to me, that a platform designed for you to sit down and watch videos is hiring a head of health. Probably a lane that they don't need to be in. But I encourage anyone watching my videos. I love it if you're watching them while you're training, watch them while you drive, whatever, that's great. But everything in moderation. And this is probably one of the big lessons in the fitness world that these teens are going to miss out on. Now, this global head of health for YouTube, the new fitness and health company, Dr. Garth Graham said, quote, "As a teen is developing thoughts about who they are and their own standards for themselves, repeated consumption of content featuring idealized standards that starts to shape an unrealistic negative internal standard could lead to some form of negative beliefs about themselves." Now, this statement from Dr. Graham is particularly interesting to me because he is the global head of health. He is a medical doctor, and he's giving his psychological opinions. This seems to be a perpetual problem in the world at the moment, where doctors forget that their job is to take care of people's physical health. Psychologists' job is to take care of people's mental health. And to the point where they could feel bad about themselves if they see someone in better shape. Okay. My opinion, let's teach teens, let's teach young people to be resilient and deal with that to an extent. We're not going to stop them, and YouTube is certainly not going to stop McDonald's from advertising. They're going to take whatever a company is going to advertise before any video that someone's about to watch. And frankly, why are we protecting the world against a problem that doesn't exist so much? Personally, I got into fitness when I was watching old videos of Arnold and watching Pumping Iron and watching Generation Iron and seeing these people. And if I was a kid nowadays, I'd be consuming this on YouTube. But that's what inspired me. That's how I was exposed to the fitness world in the first place. And I suppose there are 2 types of people. One person who would see that and be discouraged and feel bad about how they look, and another person who would think, well, maybe I could do that too. Maybe that's going to inspire me. The real question becomes, should we protect teens from seeing the content at all, or should we protect teens from feeling bad about themselves if they see someone who doesn't look like them? For some reason, we feel as though these kids have no control over their perception of self-worth, their idea about how fitness works and how they can go along the journey. But we seem to have no problem accepting if they're physically unhealthy. And this is where we're going to have to put our thick skin on a bit. Our problem in the world at the moment, in the Western world, is obesity. We have an obesity epidemic. We have people living increasingly sedentary lifestyles. We've got record rates of metabolic diseases. We have an extended lifespan, but we do not have an extended health-adjusted lifespan. We're really creating a world where people are living longer, but for what reason? They're spending the last few years of their life incapacitated. And this isn't a personal opinion. This is a statistic. This is a statistic released by StatCan. This would be consistent across America, the UK, Australia, probably wherever you're from watching this video. For some reason, we don't want to accept that larger bodies will inherently be unhealthier. As someone with a larger body at 330 pounds at the moment, I know that this is taking a toll on my health. And there's no question about that. Now, there are many independent variables that contribute to health. And if we want to teach a teen about these, where are they going to go? It's not getting covered on the news. It's not getting covered on TV. They're going to try to find it on YouTube. And tell me you're watching Mike Israetel talk about the hypertrophic response to high intensity training, and a teen is going to be worse off for that. I think there's certain things that sure they can be exposed to it that aren't useful, but I think this is more to do with creating an angle on Instagram to have a body that isn't yours, or photoshopping the image, worse yet, or potentially going, you go on TikTok, you scroll TikTok, every fifth video I see on TikTok is someone who has an OnlyFans. And as a young male, I presume the algorithm takes me that way because that's what most young men want to see. That's human nature. And so you're seeing these unrealistic body standards in other places way more than YouTube, where you can actually get really good information. You can get good information, the fact that big bodies are not healthier, but you can also get good information that getting your daily movement in is something that's going to prevent the issues from not moving. Having a healthy diet is something that can decrease your whole body inflammation. Frankly, being overweight is something that increases your whole body inflammation on the whole. These are independent variables, independent factors. And it's not to say if you have a larger body or you're obese, then you're a worse person or you're inherently unhealthy on the whole. You could be very healthy and be overweight. You take every professional athlete virtually on the planet, particularly in, say, American football and rugby, they're overweight with incredible aerobic capacities, with incredible endurance, incredible speed. Their health markers would be just fine. But let's just take aerobic capacity, for example. This is one of the number one predictors of people's long-term health. If you have a higher body weight, VO2 max is expressed in the amount of oxygen you consume relative to the amount of body weight that you have. So let's say your aerobic fitness has not changed, but you've added 10 kilos. Well, now your relative aerobic fitness has declined. And this is one of the strongest repeatable epidemiological studies when it comes to health and fitness, that this is a bad thing. Leads to high blood pressure, leads to cardiovascular disease, leads to diabetes. Does it have to? No. But people are going to have to learn about this, and we can't be sensitive about science. And this is to another point. Science is science. Art is arts. Politics is politics. Science is not politics. And this is a political move hiding behind this weird scientific guise. I've got some more quotes to read here to give a little bit more context. Quote, a higher frequency of content that idealizes unhealthy standards and behaviors can emphasize potentially problematic messages, and those messages can impact how some teens see themselves. Quote unquote, guardrails can help teens maintain healthy patterns as they naturally compare themselves to others and size up how they would want to show up in the world. Why do we care about how we size up to others when you're a teenager? Is this not like the first lesson you'd like to teach a teenager? Worry about being you. Don't compare yourself to others. So now we're in a place where we're going to facilitate teens comparing themselves to others, but we're only going to show them the people that they are better than. You are the best. We're going to hide all the fitness content, all of the people who might make you feel bad. We're going to pretend those don't exist. They're not in the algorithm anymore. We're going to send you only the ones that make you feel really good. Cue Nikocado avocado. I don't know what on earth you're going to be showing, but why are we not promoting the message of do not compare yourself to other people? This is why we have 19 million powerlifting federations, and of 7 billion people in the world, I think 3.5 billion own a powerlifting world record. This is why we get to this place. This is why we have adults who get into the real world who start to crumble when they realize that they're not the best thing that's ever happened. And you know what? Maybe one day you could be, but how are you ever going to be the best in the world, or the person you want to be, or the fittest person you want to be, if you don't see something else or someone else and go, I'd like to do that too. I'd like to be inspired by that. Because ultimately, we're always going to be exposed to people who are smarter than us, faster than us, stronger than us, taller, better looking, whatever. It was one of the most freeing things in my life when I just committed myself. I'm the strong guy. I'm not the pretty guy. It's not going to happen. I don't have hair. It's not on the cards for me. And I'm totally comfortable with that. And that's fine to me, because you know what? Do you know what matters a lot more? What matters is what kind of human being you are and what kind of person you'd like to be. This is the message that teens should be getting. This is what we should pass on to them. Yes, Sydney Sweeney has a better body than you, a 14-year-old girl. Yeah, and that's totally okay. Do you know why? Because yours is fine. Yours is fine. And if you'd like to look a certain way, go ahead and go to the gym and diet and train and work hard. Could it lead to unhealthy habits? Yes, of course it could. But why don't we train not going to those unhealthy habits? If we're going to have the algorithm in a way that discourages fitness content from being promoted, I'd like to say the same thing, because frankly, we're talking about teenagers. How is a 19-year-old different from a 16-year-old? Developmentally, especially for men, we develop relatively late. Some of us not at all, myself included. But why don't we then also say we're not going to have any alcohol advertised on YouTube? We're not, because alcohol could lead to drugs, and drugs could lead to worse drugs. And that is probably the number one problem that we should actually be talking about in the world, but we're not. Don't know why. No fast food. Personally, for me, when I see someone faster than me, it upsets me. So no one faster. I'll just be the barometer. If anyone's faster than me, we should probably stop them from being pushed on the algorithm. Trying to think, anything else? Go ahead and put in the comments things that make you feel bad when you see them. Oh, like rich people, for sure. Like we definitely don't want to see anyone thriving and economically thriving. That's my short list. I'd love to know your list in the comments. Maybe we could just stop the algorithm from pushing anything altogether other than stuff that could absolutely offend nobody. So like, we're just all going to watch mukbangs all day, but like vegan mukbangs, just in case someone doesn't want to see someone eat meat. So vegan mukbangs are probably what this channel is going to become. Just kidding. Let's not do it. But I hope you get my point. I don't understand how this is such a problem. I personally, if I had to outlaw something, it would be people pretending as though unhealthy things are healthy. Being sedentary and being obese is okay and healthy. It's just not. It's just not. And yes, there are many different things you can do to be healthy, regardless of your size. I personally try to do many different things and stay moving and monitor my blood pressure and take some medication, et cetera, et cetera. But I have to take medication. I need to wear CPAP. I'm not pretending that I'm healthy, and I say all the time, strongman is not the healthiest thing to do in the world, even though it's a professional sport for me. So let me know what you guys think. Do you think YouTube's doing the right thing? Maybe I'm missing the boat here, but if I am, it might not be a boat that I want to get on. I think we should inspire teens to, one, be fitter and healthier, and two, not compare themselves to others and build that self-worth from things other than preventing them from seeing other people who look better. I could go on and on about this. Then high school football players should not watch the NFL because that might make them feel bad because they're so much better at football. And every professional sport should be banned to teenagers. I'm going to leave it there. You guys get my point. This is stuff that I get really excited about because public health is such a major problem in our world right now. From a quality of life point of view, from an economic point of view, and the increasing healthcare costs. Imagine if Canada could take our extended healthcare budget, which results in 6-hour wait times. It's phenomenal. But say we took that budget and we could cut it in half because we had a healthier population, and we could put that towards something like assisting people to be able to buy groceries and not worry so much about rent and not need to live 4 people in a 2-bedroom apartment just to be able to afford their lives. That's my rant for the day. Thanks for coming. As per usual, lift heavy, be kind. Lift heavy, be kind. Right? Let's wear the merch. Go ahead. Link is in the description and in the pinned comment. But if you're wearing that and a teen sees you and you seem fitter than them, how are they going to feel? They're probably going to feel okay. They're probably going to feel inspired by you. If you wear some other aggressive shirt, some stringer, whatever, maybe that scares them away. Maybe that makes them feel less comfortable. That's the whole purpose behind the brand. I'm trying to do my little bit to make the world a healthier place. You can too, in a variety of different ways. If you're a teen, subscribe to the channel. Turn on the notification bell because you're not going to see this stuff anymore. Thank you very much for watching. As per usual, lift heavy, be kind, and we'll catch you tomorrow.